All right, y'all. We're trying to think of a good place to come out to. Maybe get some folks interested. Our views have been down. I don't know what's going on with that. Tell your friends we have awesome videos. If you're here for your first time, please like and subscribe. If you've been here before, come on back and check out our videos. But we decided to come to this place. A little echo going on there. We are in Sargant, Georgia, outside of Noonan. There's the old tin gin. We filmed there before. I'll put a link in the description there. This was a mill town, and we wanted to bring you here because this is the old mill. And this was the Sargant Arnco Mills. It was a textile mill. So they would bring cotton in here. And this is the little town. Here's the railroad tracks right here. Looks to me like they still might be active tracks. I don't know. Maybe. Train to go by. We think maybe. Don't know how far we can get you in there, but let's take a little bit of a look at the ruins from the Arnco Mills. Sargant Arnco Mills. This was the Sargant and the Arnall family of Noonan got together and built this textile mill. When we were at the History Museum, it talked about a whistle that would blow at 5:30 in the morning so that the workers would know to come to work. There was a mill whistle that blew at 5:30 a.m. to wake the employees, and again at 5:45 with a signal to start walking to work. The last morning whistle blew at 6 a.m. when they were to start the day. The last whistle blew at 2 p.m., which was the end of the work day. And there's the whistle. This is part of the mill. Been abandoned for a while. Look at the stonework. I believe it was built right after the Civil War, so that would be late 1800s. I'll go back down to the road and see if we can get around the corner some. Definitely taken over by plants now.
Mother Nature.
Mother Nature has taken over. You can still see the Arnco Mill. That looks like an old loading dock area. Maybe this was the warehouse distribution. This mill produced hosiery, stockings, socks. Arnall also was pretty well known for yarn. They manufactured yarn here. Ooh, if these stone walls could talk, these workers would come in. And back in those days, of course, even kids were working the mills. Get down this way, the old little town of Sargant. Probably a lot of little mill houses. And let's get you down the corner. See how it's all in sections, I guess, where they were storing stuff, or...
If anybody knows, let us know in the comments.
Yeah, Mark, if you know more about it, and I'll look up more about it too, and see if I can find some old pictures of the Arnco Sargant Mill. More sections, and...
Up there, like they got some office up there. So.
Yeah, could have been offices up there. I believe this building is definitely part of this whole complex. There's the old smokestack. This old wall here.
We got that over there.
Sure do. It's got a Walking Dead vibe.
Big time.
That's for sure.
Video some out up the road, but I don't figure out why they could figure out something through here.
And there's the tin gin again. These two trees look like they've been here since the beginning days. Oak trees, Mark? Are those oak? Look like a couple of big oaks. Birds are real busy in there. Look at this old abandoned mill. Yeah?
That's probably part of the meal too.
The outside of it. Pretty neat. Another big tree. If that tree could talk.
There's a foundation or something else here.
Yep, this is some kind of round thing.
So,
Would this have been an old, I don't know, water tower or something? What do you think this was, guys? Leave a message. Leave a comment. This is just a big round cement, so maybe another smokestack? I don't know.
hey, that's possible.
We'll try to see about the old pictures. And see if we can compare this building to what must have been here at one time. Look at that. Perfectly round. Interesting. Don't know what it was. Take y'all with us down here. On Sargant Mills. Old textile mills. All that's left are some ruins.
That way is going in that one.
Yep. Something's happening over at the old tin gin. Kind of cool view there of the smokestack. And behind, see how these sections are portioned off? I don't know if they were portioned off for storage or whether this is actually where the workers worked inside this building. Wave, we're on camera. But we're just videoing, we're not causing any trouble. Just looking down in there to show you all this old mill. Looks like part of it was painted back in the day. Makes you wonder, doesn't it? What all happened here? I wonder how many injuries or even deaths might have happened here. Notice 24-hour surveillance. Let's walk a little bit more this way. Kids work these mills. A lot of widows from the Civil War worked the mills. A lot of freed slaves worked the mills. Didn't have anything else to do, no other work was available. So they would work in the mills. Conditions were not great. The pay was not great. But it was a job. And a lot of times with the job, you could get a home in the area, a very small home. Those metal panels there look like Walking Dead walls of Alexandria, same kind of metal. People have been buying the old sections of the walls. We just thought it'd be a neat place to film and bring you guys to the little town of Sargant. We'll look up some history here and share it with you. Wanted to get out here and get this footage of the old mill. Okay, so here we are at Arnco Mills. This is Arnco Mills. This is where we were this morning at the abandoned gas station. Got a bad glare on the glass there. But these are some fabrics from Arnco Mills. My son lives in a home that was built for the mill workers in the 20s. Belly stove.
Yeah, I don't know that.
What kind of a whistle is this? RD call whistle. Blew 6 times a day at starting time, quitting time, shift change. The whistle could be heard from 5 miles away.
Well, that's the whistle right there.
That's one of the whistles, yep.
I'm sure it'll wake them up around here.
Yeah. A lathe.
Yeah.
Coweta County Mills. Lumber, grist mills, cotton mills. Some mills retain water turbines. The advent of steam engines again enhanced mill efficiency. Noonan Hosiery Mill. And there, look at that. And socks. Cool. Noonan was really big on mills, had several different mills and a big manufacturing plant all in the area. Big section keeps going down that way. We'll go get in the truck to see if we can drive that way a little bit. See if we can see it a bit closer. Love that old chimney still there. It's pretty cool. All right, and the old building, that might have been an office building. It's about to cave in. Let's go jump in the truck to see if we can get any closer to any of this cool stuff here in Sargant, Georgia. Brought my ghost meter out. Like I said, we know that conditions were poor. The likelihood of someone meeting their demise at this mill is pretty good. There's even the possibility that some young folks could have passed away here at the mill. Anybody out here want to say that you are still wandering the mill? You can tell us that by lighting up the red light. Nothing yet. We'll keep an eye on our meter for a minute. I've even heard stories that people would lose fingers, hands at the mill, and that sometimes they would just bury that stuff right here outside of the mill. Now, I'm not saying it happened here. I'm just saying I have heard that that has happened before. Anybody's spirit lingering at the mill? Now would be a time to tell us that you're here. This one wall right here. Nature has definitely taken over this area. For sure. Is there anybody out here whose spirit lingers at the mill? So we kind of got stopped by somebody who claimed to be the owners, or I don't know what, saying the cops will be called for us walking around. Whatever, call the cops. That would be exciting. We're just filming, documenting this old building. We're standing in the street. We didn't go past any no posted signs. And that she's saying some kind of a furniture store is going in the gin. So we'll watch for that. So pretty neat stuff. Pretty cool. Didn't get anything on our meter. We're seeing if anybody's out here lingering at Sargant Georgia Mills. Old town. Very old town. Pretty neat. Alright, we're going to drive down and see what we can see from the truck, because then we'd be from the road and we can't get yelled at for being on private property. Here's the old, probably the old office building. Of course, we didn't go up in there. It does say no trespassing. That is falling in.
Yep.
And then here's some more of the old mill.
Yeah, I just can't figure out why Greg Nicotero didn't come to the meeting around here.
It does look pretty
They
Walking
might
Dead.
have asked. You know, they could have been
Never
jerks.
know.
We go home this way.
Maybe.